That's beautiful.
Go.
Hi.
Go.
Go now?
Go now.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to the first annual panel for Black Women in Nerdy Spaces, brought to you by Blerdography. You can follow Blerdography across all social media, no matter what your flavor may be. We would hope that you would subscribe to the YouTube channel and bring us more viewers, because this is about to be your favorite live ever. Okay, as we get into it. So now I would like
Moana podcast.
I would like us all to introduce ourselves. We're gonna start on this end and go all the way down here.
Any format.
Tell us who you are, who you're representing today.
I am Teresa Kennedy. I'm not sure who I'm representing. Probably just
Stitch.
myself.
Just it.
Me and Stitch. Just Stitch release day. So also I'm a panelist on the Moana Nui podcast. What's it called? What you're watching?
What you watching?
And as well as the Grown A Geeks Geek Chat. And
opinionated variants.
opinionated variants from the 626 or 616
616.
on Moana Nui. I'm on the spot here. I'm done.
I'll go last. We'll go next to you.
I am B. Cunningham, award-winning cosplayer, also Toku live cover singer, voice actress, and I think that's it. Oh, wife, and yeah, I think that's it. But yes, you can catch my awesome Toku covers on Blue Storm Entertainment, and you can find me on all platforms at b.cunningham cosplay.
Hello, I'm Dana Morgan. I am the executive producer and co-host for the Moana Nui podcast. Assistant producer for the Bop with the Yellow Power Ranger, Karen Ashley. Also, as you can see in my MomoCon attire, I am the director of media relations for MomoCon. And the list goes on. There's a lot of stuff. And you can find me on Moana Nui podcast on our social media platforms. Danique Cosplay on all social media platforms. That's me.
My name is Christina. Hi, everyone. It's Christina D. Weeb. I'm a cosplayer and a content creator, and just really happy to be here with all those amazing people. And I represent all the One Piece fans, because One Piece is my favorite anime. So just you know.
Truth be told, One Piece has made quite the comeback. Although I'm not going to lie to you, them 2,000 plus episodes, that's too much. I can't. I'm so far behind at this point.
And you know what? And it's so fun. And they 1,000 and some, and they're great. I promise. When you make it to the end, you'll be happy and you would want more.
I will try.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
Closing out the introductions, my name is Joy Stevens, and I am Joyride08 across all the platforms I want you to find me on. And I'm also representing the Moana Nui podcast. So you see there's 3 people from Moana Nui. My flavors of Moana Nui are the What You Watching, which is a monthly podcast about whatever we may be watching, as well as History. Because of my love of history, specifically American history, we talk about those stories that may not have been shared with you in your college or high school education. And so check out the Moana Nui podcast as well, because this is a collaborative effort tonight. But I'm lucky enough to be your moderator, and we're about to get into, again, the discussion is Black women in nerdy spaces. Specifically, this one is going to be navigating the cause, right? We're going to jump into probably the most controversial or a volatile subject first, which is cosplay does not mean consent.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk to the people up here about what your experience has been navigating not only just the con itself, but the hallway, the bathroom, the booth, etc. How have things gotten better over the years? How did it start? Like, anybody want to take that question on?
I can start with that. So I could say in my experience, it has definitely gotten better. There's nobody randomly running up to me, grabbing me around my waist. There's nobody randomly coming up to me like, oh my God, this is so cute, and just feeling me up and stuff like that. There is a lot more respect now. So that I do appreciate. But you do still hear stories like that where you're just kind of minding your own business, or you're in the middle of a photo shoot and just all of a sudden someone's like, oh my God, you're so great, you're so hot. Here, let me take this picture. Let me do that. No, don't touch me. I mean, I'm not saying don't touch me. I don't hate you or anything, but one, I don't know you. As much as I hate to say it, you smell bad. And
Day
you know,
three of the con is terrible across all cons. So yes, you smell bad. In case you didn't know.
yes,
Air that food out.
In case you was wondering.
Breeze, something. Help us.
if you are sleeping in your car, because I know some of you do, because you can't afford a hotel room, please find a friend with a hotel room. Take a shower. Put some water to your body, please.
Wow.
Let's not talk about that again in a minute.
You're right. Ooh, girl.
Just doing it.
Yeah, I feel like it's similar to what you said. It's a lot better than it's been before, but I definitely had some people like come up and like just hug me without like I don't even know who you are. Sometimes it's like, your mutual friends or like somebody maybe you met once. I'm like,
Mhm.
that's one thing. But they'd be like random people just like, oh my God, I love your cosplay, hugging, touching, like, or people would take pictures without you knowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's like, especially if I like, some things are out. And it's like people would like take picture from the back, and I'm like turn around, I'm like, why are the cameras pointing at me? That's kind of, and they just like walk away. Or like they wouldn't answer. I'm like, I don't think the consent was happening right here, right now. So
Mhm.
but again, it's gotten better. Like people, I feel like because of, social media and stuff, everybody talk about, hey, here's my rules. Like some people like touching and like hugging, some people don't really like hugging people. So a lot of creators would like put up on their like story something like, hey, like if you see me at the con, like please ask me for a picture, please ask me to hug me. And others like just like a picture, like I don't mind, that's whatever. So I think people are more geared to like, okay, like I know how the specific creator maybe like, like things. So I'm like gonna ask them in advance. So I feel like that's been helpful. But there's some weird people, there's great people, a little bit of both.
Yes.
There are.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten any what's the strangest request that you've gotten that we can talk about in a PG-13 way?
Somebody asked my sweaty socks out of my boots.
Oh wow.
That tracks. Anything else?
Mhm.
I mean the whole stepping on
Step on me.
stepping on me, the
Bath
the
water.
oh yeah.
Yeah, the bath water too.
The bath water.
Yes, use bath water.
Actually, no. I got one for you. Y'all,
I got a story.
I had someone ask me to take the bottoms from one of my cosplays, dip it in water, and wring it out and send it to them.
People really into
Fair.
like
Yes.
they're really into like any type of clothing that's been worn before.
Or bodily fluids.
Yes,
Something weird about
yeah.
bodily
Yeah.
fluids.
Yep.
It's
Um,
interesting.
for the people that are watching this live, what you don't see that I see is the mass confusion on the face of the audience. Like, yes. So let me tell you that the con is a different experience for women. Nobody
In real life too.
Lucky you.
Right?
Must be nice.
It doesn't matter. This is only getting this and all. It doesn't matter if they want to pay or not. It's just a gross thing to ask somebody.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them will pay some money for
They
it,
will.
but it's like,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
A lot of people, there are avenues for that thing, but the people that engage in those sorts of transactions will let you know that they engage in those. And so,
9 times out of 10, they probably have an OnlyFans.
yes, find them.
yes.
Just the random person that is just happily minding their business walking through the con, probably not interested in giving you wrung out underwear juice.
Yes.
So
So I know underwear juice.
Wow.
You did that.
We almost killed somebody in the audience.
all the men that are I want to talk a little bit about the cosplay side of it, because a lot of we have 2 cosplayers. Actually, we have 5 cosplayers up here, 2 in costume right now. And what I want to talk to you about is how did you get into this? Because most Black people, especially if you're like say over, we'll call it say over 35, maybe didn't see this growing up. So we had to find it on our own. That's another question we're gonna come to, but how did you get into cosplay?
I feel like, well, when I started watching, I've been watching anime for a while, and then like I think that's a lot of like it happened to a lot of people during the pandemic. Obviously, nothing was going on, everybody was doing whatever. I was like, let me get back into anime. So as I'm getting back into that, I'm getting into social media, TikTok, Instagram, all that. So I started seeing like I had seen cosplayers before back home, but it was like so frowned upon. I was like, oh, they I don't know what they're doing. Like I don't want to do that. And then as I grew, like, and I got to travel and see different things and like experience, I was like, it's okay to look at other things that's different from you and try it. So I started seeing cosplayers on my For You page and like people dressing up, and I was like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a little, closet cosplay, a little Itachi or something. And I tried it. I was like, wait, this is like, it's such a great way to express yourself. I had no idea that's what I needed and that's what I wanted. And then I started putting cosplays together and outfits, going to the convention. I was like, there's a whole community of people that also like that. And it haven't been the same since. I was just living my best life. But it's just, it's such a great outlet that like lets you express yourself. So
Absolutely.
For myself, I got to cosplay in 2018. I always wanted to dip my toe in it, but I was like, everything, kind of what you said, Joy, everything I was seeing through social media before I really got into the con world, I didn't get into con world until 2016. I was not seeing us depicted in what I was seeing in media. It was always younger, white, little girls, early 20s. And I'm like, yeah, this I want to do, but maybe for Halloween kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then as I built up friends within the con community, they were like, do it, Dana, do it. And then finally I was like, all right, I'm gonna pull the trigger, and finally cosplayed in 2018. And I debuted my first cosplay at BlerdCon in DC. And I picked out Captain Yodoichi from Bleach, because everybody usually I've seen do Yodoichi from after she's already here on Earth with her orange top and everything. But I wanted her in her captain form. So I looked for her stuff. I commissioned the cosplay and I wore it. It took 4 of my friends to help me, because putting in context, I don't wear glasses, I don't wear contacts at the time. And I was just like, oh gosh, how we gonna do this? And then they were teaching me how to put on a wig. That was an experience too. And then the captain outfit is 5 layers of clothing. So I'm like, in July at BlerdCon, I was like, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. And then I get downstairs, and the first person that came to me was a little 5-year-old little girl. And there was a Storm cosplay by me. So I was like, oh, she's here for Storm. And her mom goes, like, no, she wants to take a picture with you. And I'm like, me? And so she's just like, your sword? I'm like, yes, that's my sword. And she's like, oh, can I touch it? I'm like, yes. And she's touching it. And she was a little black girl. And she was just like, oh. And after that, I was like, I could do this. I could do this. And that got me into cosplay, because of seeing a little girl that was me years ago. If I could have saw something like that, got me excited to want to get into cosplay. So that hit me right there.
I feel like I didn't really get into cosplay until I actually got into craftsmanship. Like I dabbled a little beforehand, and even as a kid, like not even for Halloween or anything, my mom, who would sew, she would make costumes for me. But like I would definitely say once I actually went to my first con and was like, oh, like you, it's like, oh, there are others.
Mm-hmm.
And initially it was a sprinkling that looked like me, but like I will say this, seeing this explosion of seeing more people that look like me inspires me even more to go deeper into my cosplay. But like I said, I didn't really get that heavy into cosplay until I got into craftsmanship and actually started to compete.
We'll come to you.
Well, I'm still a novice cosplayer, but I feel like I got all into it last year at Dragon Con. I've always been someone who, I'll wear stingy to the grocery store. So I should have known that I was a cosplayer.
It's been in you the whole
Yeah,
time.
that part.
Right.
You were doing closet cosplay.
Exactly. Antlers, reindeer antlers at Christmas, that kind of thing. I have no problem with that. And I've always loved fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of thing. And I got into Star Trek Discovery. From the very first episode, I was sold. I loved that show. And when they did the run with that ended with the Stacey Abrams guest starring, and she was the United Earth president, for some reason that character just drew me all the way in. I was like, that's it. I'm doing that. I'm cosplaying this character. And I did it, and I'm very quiet, very introverted, and used to being kind of in the background. I commissioned that outfit and I wore it to the Star Trek photo shoot. And I'm walking in, I'm like, this is a very like niche costume.
Mhm.
They probably won't even know who I am. And this one gentleman stopped and he held the door for me and he bowed and he said, Madam President. And I was like, these are my people.
Mhm.
I love this. Oh my God.
I like that phrase. These are my people.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I started cosplaying around 2014, and it was for work. As a matter of fact, I was a sales manager in Texas, and one of the one of our business partners was throwing a Halloween party and you had to dress up. It was kind of a flex because he wanted to just make everybody do something. But you had to dress up. And so all of these people, most of the women were going as sexy something.
Yeah.
Sexy maid, sexy librarian, whatever. I'm like, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Let me get these black jeans, this black jacket, and this sword and some dreadlocks, and I'm going to be Michonne. And so I showed up and I was the only non-sexy person because we're not playing this game, dude. You know, like I wasn't there to try and amuse him and his friends. So it was a rebellious cosplay from day one. But when I walked in, a lot of the women there were like, oh, that is such a smart idea. And they're like, oh, I wish I had thought of something like that because none of them looked like me, but they all were thinking that that was their only option was whatever was at Party City. And I'm walking in, honestly, it closed out of my closet. I found this sword because it was close to Halloween. It was a, what do you call it? Jason Voorhees machete.
Okay.
It was close enough. And the dreadlocks just kind of pull it all together. But it took me $30 and an attitude to be Michonne. But seeing the response to that in a what could have possibly been like a hostile environment, I was like, oh, I can do this. And the next thing you know, Bridgerton came out.
Ooh.
And I look kind of like Queen Charlotte.
You
I was like,
yeah.
you are.
And so for the last couple of years, I've cosplayed as Queen Charlotte at DragonCon. And even weaseled my way into being in the parade last year in a float. So it's in the carriage. Just hello. I want to say hello to, what is it? Prayers, sorrow. I love what you said about I found my people. I have found a tribe of friends, extended family, et cetera, that does cosplay. And I find that we all have a lot of things in common. But this brings me back to you because before we started rolling, you mentioned that you are not from the United States.
Oh yeah, I'm from Russia.
From Russia.
Yeah, like
So-
the country.
And I think when you were talking, you said not a lot of people were doing cosplay when you first started looking at it.
Yeah, so like even back home, like when I was growing up and stuff, like I randomly saw like maybe cosplayers somewhere in the street and it's like 2000 or whatever. And I was like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why they dressed like that. And it was very like, people didn't, appreciate it, respect it or anything. It's like, oh yeah, that's weird people. So I was like, okay, well, I'm younger, like I'm a girl. I'm like, if they told me that's weird, I'm not gonna do it. And a lot of people in Russia are white, but I mean everybody is. So not a lot of black people. Like I have like 2 black friends that's from Russia. So that's why like I'm already different, and now I'm kind of looking at something. It might be cool, but they tell me it's weird. So I don't want to be like weirder than I'm already at, or like more different than I'm already at. And then when I moved here, and I feel like just moving, which is hopefully like a little bit related, like moving to different country gave me like so many more things to think about or look at. And I was like, my mindset like legit changed when I moved here. And I live here for like 12 years now. And now like that I'm older, I think about it. And like same thing with cosplay and like anime and like nerdy communities. This like expands like your horizon, basically expands like the way you think about things. And because like something different most of the time is like something good. Like trying different things, looking at different things, always gonna help you like open your mind basically. So first moving from one country to another, I was like, wow, this is cool. And then getting to like cosplay, like conventions, I was like I was saying, like I found my people and I was like, oh my God, like it felt so right. I was like, I feel like I've been looking for this like all these years. And when I finally saw it and met it, I was like, I'm never leaving. Like I don't see myself like 50, 60, however years old I'm gonna be. I want to continue doing this because it brings me so much joy and so much like community.
So that actually worked. That tracks well because I'm 51. And so I look good.
You look amazing. All of you look great. First of all,
Melanin.
All you need is some baby.
Not
Not
problematic.
baby oil.
hey.
That means
So being in my 50s, I'm finding that I'm finding cosplay like Queen Charlotte.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, last year we had, since they did her own show on Netflix, I had a young Queen Charlotte standing next to me as the older Queen Charlotte. It was one of my favorite pictures from last year. But also, I'm looking for characters that I can blend in like my natural soft hair, or find a characters that are a little bit older that I can play. So I'm looking at who's the Suicide Squad leader? Waller. Waller. I'm looking at her. I'm looking at Blind Al because all I need is a cane and some cocaine.
Look at sugar. Look at sugar. Yes.
So what was your Blind Al costume consist of?
My Juicy Couture velour sweatsuit
I'm here for that. I'm so here for that.
with the leopard print tank under it. I went to the corner beauty supply store. I got a cheap gray little pro wig. some shades that'll fit over my glasses because I have to wear my glasses or I will run into things.
Yeah.
And a cane off of Amazon.
And at DragonCon, someone gave you some Luca sugar.
Yes, they gave.
Wait, was it real cool or just said?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. We don't know.
No,
That's
It
questionable.
was a little. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, they tell you
We
don't
took
take
some
candy
pictures
with
with
you.
it, but that was about it.
that was
Throw that away, all of it. 'Cause, yeah, that takes us back around to the first question. Like, don't take things from strangers.
No, I had a
Don't
buddy
do
that made the mistake and took some free alcohol from an evil Ronald McDonald.
First off, it was-
evil.
Right.
Clown.
Yeah, so like the clown walks up to him and he's all like, so you want light or you want dark? So he chose light. Turns out the light was Everclear.
Oh, brother.
So now,
Well,
so
she
now,
was little.
so now my poor friend is very, very drunk and like, I kid you not, starts stripping in the middle of the car.
Of course.
And
Because he's hot.
yes,
For the young people, Everclear is 180 proof.
don't do it.
Jack Daniels is 80 proof. So you understand, Everclear is grain alcohol, just so you understand.
Mhm.
Or I see a what's up? Yes. Grain lovers. So, okay, so bringing it back into navigating cons, doing cosplay. We've talked a lot about overall, there is a specificity to being a cosplayer, also a Black female. How do you know people to have navigated that space of being the you're not supposed to be that person type of thing? Have y'all dealt with that at all?
I actually one of my recent videos on the Blue Storm Entertainment channel, somebody actually told it was my persona. Somebody actually told me to stop blackwashing characters.
Oh,
Blackwash.
brother. It's like reverse
Let's
racism.
just check black-
Come on.
Blackwash. The actual term for blackwashing is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like something for syphilis. So no, seriously, if you look it up, blackwash, it's like it deals with syphilis, like cleansing for syphilis or something like that. So I'm like, okay, when did this character have syphilis? When did any of these characters have syphilis? And if they have syphilis, I'm very much concerned for the other characters in the show because they are all very touchy and huggy and all this other great, wonderful stuff. Like, so explain to me, if I am blackwashing these characters, which of these other characters do I need to blackwash? Who else seems to have some type of disease that I need to know
She
about?
said, let me know. Send me the list.
Right. And to tell me to stop doing it. So you want this disease to spread. You want this to spread. You want us all to get it. You want us all to die this terrible, horrible deaths. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are people like this?
I love how you turn that around. Let me tell you right now, everybody in One Piece got syphilis. I'm just saying.
Syphilis and scurvy?
Yeah.
Why?
Anybody else want to field that question? Anybody else have had to deal with anything?
I'm like you. I'm more drawn to characters who look like me anyway. You know, at 51, I'm 54. So older, more full-figured types of characters. So I haven't really done. I did Louise Belcher last year, but Louise is a cartoon character, completely fictional. She was received very, very well. But yeah, so I haven't really gotten too much backlash because I am drawn to characters who look like me.
But you do bring up a point with Louise Belcher. That's my other thing. These characters are not real.
Right.
These are not real
Fictional
characters.
characters.
Exactly. Completely fictional. So you
They lose their mind.
yes, but you gosh dang right. If you don't think I'm not going to sit up here and be whatever I want to be, last time I checked, you don't pay my bills. You damn sure not giving me any money on my Patreon or anything. So as far as I'm concerned, you can go over there and what's that mean? What
Kick
they-
rocks.
Oh no. Well, yes, kick the rocks. The sharp pointy ones at the bottom of the clip. You are correct. I was thinking more of taking that opinion, writing it down on the sheet of paper and lubricate it really well. But you know,
Yeah.
An option.
My thing is like when people will come in that don't follow you anything, but give themselves the privilege to say, you know, what will look better on you will be X, Y, and Z. And then I respond back, well, my PayPal, Cash App, Venmo is the following. And once I get your money, I'll go ahead and cosplay that. But
Mhm.
until then, enjoy my cosplay.
Oh, also, don't be giving me no $1, $2 donations. You want me to cosplay that?
You gotta pay the full
entire
thing,
cosplay.
$100 cosplay. And I think it's interesting because people feel like they can say anything and everything online.
Yes.
Because I feel like in person, like
Mhm.
I get comments here and there,
That
but like
keep
not
up bravery.
online. Oh my god! And like the insults are not even good anymore. Like they use the same thing. They get your character name and then add the N word after it, and that's what you. I'm like, that's all you got. Nothing else.
There's no originality. You know that.
Exactly. So I'm like, and I feel like a lot of people get like, oh, this character is not black. I mean, this character is not black. This character, this and that, and like you can't cosplay because like, I'm like they're not white either.
Yeah.
Like, have them Japanese.
Yes.
It's
The
a fictional
Japanese
character.
Starfire is
in Jap-
golden colored.
Exactly.
Yes. She's a
From a
Yes.
different- And y'all just pressed about the wrong thing.
Now,
And in Japan, they even say the characters in the animation does not have any race. So the fact they are amazed how we get in debates on social media of like, well, she's white and everything. They're like, none of these characters have race for our anime.
Mm-hmm.
they're more likely to be cats because they
No,
draw
I
them.
man.
That's the cute face is the cat face,
Yes.
so they're all cats.
Yeah.
You know that I have a theory, and y'all let me know if you believe this. And there we have men in the audience. Y'all can shake your head yes or no if you think I might be on to something. But so I'm combining this. You know, like when you did Louise Belcher, nobody really said too much about it. But when you do, I'm trying to think of like Yoruichi or
Neko.
Swoop.
What is that girl's name from Demon Slayer? Tanjiro's sister.
Nezuko.
Nezuko.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. There are certain characters that a lot of that demographic sees themselves with, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And if you do a character that they see themselves with, but you don't look like that, and now they have that cognitive dissonance of I was trying to get with her, but now she's black. No, you can't do that because you mess up my mental fantasy.
Yeah.
You know, which is why you get away. They don't say as much about like the Louise Belchers or the Queen Charlottes or characters that, regardless of race, that they don't necessarily want to bang. But when you get into the bang territory, they're like, no, you don't look like that. That's just my observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and depending on the fandom, it can be really bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, and you know what? I will call them out. Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact fandom is unreal when it comes to what you are and aren't supposed to cosplay as a cosplayer. And again, we're not paying my bills. I will be darned if you are going to tell me what I can and can't cosplay and what I can and can't spend my money on.
Very true.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's insane. But also, like, why would you like? They want to get.
This poor little 13-year-old that's got like a 12, you know good and well that is not real body structure. Stop
Yeah.
playing. But I feel like we have gone back to, we went from, okay, we're starting to see older women that actually look like women. And yes, I will say it, they don't necessarily look like sticks. They actually have some curves in them. But now we're going back to, I just want this 14-year-old girl with this surfboard body. And it bothers me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
That's a we're not gonna be able to solve for that because it's not our problem,
Nope.
No.
right? But that's a problem, and y'all need to do some internal reflection
Yeah.
on yourselves about
Therapy.
why you like that, why you
Seek therapy.
seek therapy. Get some therapy.
20. Oh my gosh.
I adore him.
She is the funniest person I know. That man.
Yes.
Is he here?
I don't see him. I don't think he. I've been looking for him all day.
Here.
I don't think
So just for the shout out, just Tony Weaver, just know that you have a whole bunch of female fans.
Yes.
At MomoCon. We love your work. We love what you do.
Yes.
And he did not pay us to say that.
Yes.
He's just a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. When you get free publicity.
Exactly.
Facts.
Also, he's a non-creepy guy. I appreciate his content on Instagram when he is constantly telling people, "Why are y'all so weird?"
Like,
Even
don't
though
do
he's
that.
a weirdo, but he's not that kind of weirdo.
Yeah.
And some of the things we're talking about today, he speaks out against it. I really appreciate the content creators across all genres, all genders, all colors that say, "Stop being weird. Stop being a creep. You know, stop disrespecting people." Because it's not specifically just women. There's a lot of disrespect going all over the place. be a nice person. We had a chance earlier to interview Uncle Iro.
Mhm.
And when I asked him, like, what would you want to tell the younger generation? He's like, just be kind to each other. Just be nice. Just be kind. He said it over and over again. Just if there's one thing you can do, it doesn't take anything out of you to be nice to other people, and it makes you feel better when you're helping other folks, being happy, etc. So just be kind. And I think that's a message that reverberates all over the place. When you are approaching a woman at a con, be kind, be nice, be respectful. Don't ask her to turn around to take a picture. That is not something she wants to do. If she wants to turn around, she'll do it voluntarily. And if she doesn't, then don't ask.
Yes.
You know, there's just things that I think should be common sense, but it's not so common.
But also, just because you're being nice, don't mean you have qualified for a nice guy punch card. Just
Right.
because you did 10
Absolutely.
nice things means you're going to get some. That's not how that works.
Right. There's a YouTube clip from oh my goodness, what's her name? She's the Black lesbian comedian. You know what I'm talking about?
Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes. Thank you. She talks about being in the club and drink man following you around all night. He bought you one drink, and now every time you turn around,
that's
it's me,
Sure.
drink man. I never forgot that. It's awesome. But that does tend to happen. Like especially being women in a space, being Black women in a space, there's already a stereotype outside, well, in and out of our community about Black women having different morals, which is not true.
Yes.
And then there's a stereotype of when you dress that way, this is a costume for a con. I did not go to the grocery store like this today. I did not come in and say, hey, touch me. There's nothing on my costume that says touch me.
Yes.
But people assume that they can if they're nice to you. Oh, you look really pretty. Oh, thank you. And then next thing you know, every time you turn around, hey, I told you was pretty earlier. So we going home? No.
No. Those are the ones that end up taking it
Exactly.
because they overheard you giving it to somebody else.
Tell that story.
Oh my goodness. All right. I get a weird message on my phone. You know, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Blah, 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 said and the other, loved your costume. Okay, who is this? Oh, I'm such and such. Okay. How do I know you? Where do we meet? Oh, we were at DragonCon. Okay, still not coming to me. Oh, well, you know, you were giving your number to this other person, so I figured I'd just go ahead and take it down and give you a call.
I know you lying.
No.
That's
I have stories for days.
oh my god. See, hey, I'm sorry, proceed. That's
Yeah, that was obviously in the media block.
Yeah.
But yeah, people do strange things.
you overheard somebody's phone number. You're
Yeah,
like,
and just
and
take it
felt,
Yeah.
felt comfortable to type out that message,
Yes.
look at it, click send, and wait for response.
Yes.
Crazy.
They
works.
did all of that thinking, this is good.
Yeah,
This is gonna
this-
give me what I want.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Obviously, they do not have really good friends.
No, well,
Or they can listen to their friends.
Oh, yeah, that too.
or that.
Wow. Huh. It's tough out here, but it is also fun out here.
Yeah, it is.
So, tell me some of your favorite stories. Like, I love the story of the little girl that came up to you. Like, when you said, I can do this, I almost wanted to say, I have to do this. Like,
Yes.
I want to be
Yeah.
a role model, a piece of representation at different ages and sizes and everything. For
Yes.
other women that don't know they can also do this.
Mhm.
But what has been your favorite cosplay story?
My favorite one was when I won my first craftsmanship contest. And I went to church with my mom the Sunday the week after. And one of the ladies that went to that church, their daughter had seen me at the cosplay contest. And she was telling her mom about it and everything, was like, oh my God, Mom, you got to see his costume, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. She shows the picture and her mom recognizes that it's me. So when she comes, she's all like, but to know that there are even people that I know that I can inspire myself like that, because apparently she started sewing.
After she saw you,
She started sewing.
I love that.
She actually said I was one of the first Black women she saw to win a craftsmanship contest.
Mhm. Yes.
So she was like, if you can win this craftsmanship contest, I guess I'll get down to sewing and do it too.
That's great. So directly inspiring somebody.
Mhm.
I love it. Anybody else? What was your?
Nothing really specific. I just had a really fabulous time at DragonCon last year. I think I did 4 or 5 different cosplays, and they were just all really well received.
You have all my respect because I can barely do 2 in a day.
Well, I know, right?
Yeah, all of my respect.
Thank you.
All of my
I mean,
respect.
it's like one a day. One day there were 2 photo shoots, so I did change that day. But yeah, it was ambitious, but they were just all very well received. I got a lot of the, Madam President and you know, I was going up the escalator after the Wakanda Forever photo shoot, and one girl was like, Angela Bassett. Oh, very happy to be called Angela Bassett. So I just
Another woman looks really good for her age.
I had a great time. Got COVID, but other than that,
No,
I had
no.
a great time at Dragon Con.
We were talking about hygiene at the con. So
Right.
Yeah.
that does happen. That
Don't
does
bring
happen.
your COVID to the con. I don't care
Exactly.
how much you pay for it.
Exactly.
Stay in your room.
Yes. I'll say for me, one of the best moments I had outside of my first experience was I was at a convention in another convention at DC, Baltimore Comic-Con, and I was dressed up as Bulma. And I was walking to my co-host to put some stuff in the car. We were packing up, and all of a sudden I hear someone say, "Oh my gosh, I really love your Bulma." And I turn around, and it was my favorite webtoon creator who creates this series on webtoons, one of the most popular ones out there, and called Let's Play. And
I love that one.
so
Oh,
I
sorry.
go to her and I turn around and I'm like, "Excuse me, are you who I think it is?" She's like, "Yes, I am." And I was like, she's like, "Can I take a picture of you?" I'm like, "Can I take a picture of you?"
I love it.
So, she takes a picture of me and my cosplay, and then she asked her manager to take a picture of the two of us. Then full circle, last year, I ended up seeing her at San Diego Comic-Con, and she was like, "You're Bulma." And I'm like, "That was 4 years ago." Hi. But she was like, she remembered that. So I'm just like, well, I have a show. Can I interview you? And her manager's like, well, see if she's interested, because she doesn't do a lot of interviews. And I asked her, she's like, "I'd love to." So she did her. It was amazing because it's like someone I read your stuff on webtoons, and you called out on me, and I was just like thinking it was just a fellow con goer, and then I turn around and it's wow, it's a guest.
Oh my
You
God.
still have that interview?
Yes.
Where can people see it?
Moana Nui podcast on our YouTube channel.
Boom. I love that webtoon. I'm like obsessed with it.
It's so good. And her next book for the series is getting ready to come out.
Ooh, I love it. But I feel like I have like experiences, like great experiences, like in person at the cons, and I have them online because I feel like there's bad things, but there's also good things. So I feel like online, I have done it for 3 years now during Black History Month. A lot of people do 20 days of Black cosplay. And I'm like, and I remember I did it for the first time, and I was like really scared. I was like, can I really do it? Like, there's so many characters, and I actually did it. So many people reached out, like, "Oh my God, this was so inspirational. We love your cosplays. How did you do this? How did you do that?" I was like, "You actually like it?"
Yeah.
I was like mind blown because I was like, I look at other people because I'm like, I get it, like I get so inspired by them, but then like I did it, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, you inspired me to do this." So like I see people do maybe similar cosplay. So like I have not seen a lot of Ivankos like the first time I came to, which is my first con was MomoCon 4 years ago. And then I wore this cosplay, a little bit different, but the same cosplay. And I haven't seen anybody else cosplay the character. And now, like 3 or 4 years later, I saw like 3 or 4 today, and they were like, "Oh my God!" Like, and some people literally come up to me like, "Oh, you Ivanko from 3 years ago?" I was like, "Yep." Every year I come here and I do the same cosplay. I just and they like keep recognizing me, and I was like, "This is like such an amazing interaction." And so like in person and like meeting kids, any type of
Yes.
children, and they like run up to you and they know who you are. And I'm like, I try like not to cry every time because I feel like children is like it's literally the next generation. So
Yeah.
it's like if they get to see all this and they get to feel comfortable and seen and like represented, imagine how much better their life is. And like, and we just out here cosplaying, like putting costume on, and like they living their best life. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if that's what it takes, like I will do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my favorite moment was last year at Dragon Con. 'Cause I was dressed as Queen Charlotte. This is a plus and a minus. So we were doing the Black Geeks Dragon Con photo shoot, and that has gone from what, maybe 30 people, maybe 6 or 7 years ago to 100 plus.
Yeah.
The largest group.
We had the largest group at Dragon Con. So if you want to come out and see your people in cosplay, come to Dragon Con
Yes.
this year. But I'm dressed as Queen Charlotte, and I had the young Queen Charlotte with me. and this young little girl wanted to come take a picture. And I was like, oh, she wants to take a picture with us, but she didn't. She wanted to take a picture with Royalty Cosplay, who was the younger one. So I was over here feeling jealous, like she didn't want me.
She got it.
I mean, let me clean out the picture, I guess. But then as I'm walking inside, I'm going up the escalator, and it just so happened that a guy who was cosplaying King George was going up the escalator right in front of us. And so, and now he was King George from Hamilton. And a lot of people don't realize that King George is married to Queen Charlotte. They are the couple. And so I see him and I just yell out, "Do you not know me, my love?" Because in the Queen Charlotte Netflix, you can tell that he has some issues with some mental health issues. Yeah. They did. There is a book called The Madness of King George. But so I got to have a moment with a guy I'd never met before in my life. He turned around and he said, "My love." And so we had this moment. We gave a hug. We went up the escalator. We took pictures. And some people learned in that moment that Queen Charlotte was actually married to King George because they'd never put it all together. And that was one of my favorite moments since I just got dissed by the little girl.
I was.
Find my love on the escalator. Another thing I love about going to cons is those interactions with people.
Yes.
Total strangers who are into the same thing. Like you said, it's a very inclusive environment. The creeps aside, it is a very inclusive environment where you can be yourself.
Yes.
And be somebody else at the same time. So what I want to do is anything y'all want people to know about being a cosplayer, about going to conventions, about getting into this world, especially because there's a lot of people in like non-metropolitan areas that may not have a lot of friends. You know, especially like you mentioned, coming from Russia and having two friends in Russia, right? Or two Black friends, but may not have a lot of people that do cosplay. Maybe they are closet cosplayers, but they don't want anybody to know. What encouragement would you give people of any age to get into this?
I feel like the biggest thing is anything you think a cosplay is a cosplay. It can be closet, it can be like inspired outfit, you might have bought it, you might have made it yourself. Like I feel like sometimes people want to like separate and be like, well, this is not a real cosplay, and this is anything you put on and you think it's a cosplay, it's a cosplay. And I just want to like my biggest thing, like if you're really sitting there like, oh, maybe should I just do it? Like whatever Nike people said, because you're gonna feel so much more better and free, and you're gonna find your people. Like I found my people somehow. We all found like I found you all today. Yeah. So it's like you will find people, and like social media can be not really good for you, but like if you use it in the right way, you know, you can find people online. You can go to the con, find people at the con. There's always going to be somebody like, oh my god, I love your cosplay. There's meetups. One thing I love about MomoCon, there's meetup for everything.
Yeah.
I look at the schedule, I was like, so this show that I thought nobody ever does anything about it, there's a meetup for that. So like just give it a chance, give it a try. Like what's the worst thing gonna happen? You might not like it, you're never gonna do it again. But if you're thinking about it, please do it. Please give it a chance, because it's gonna be great, I promise.
For me, similar. It's just don't think you have to have the most elaborate costume. You can do something that's simple. Like I know a lot of people when they do Luke Cage, it's just some jeans, a t-shirt with some holes in it.
Maybe a shame.
Exactly. And you can go to Goodwill to find stuff. There's a lot of cosplay like sales that they will have that people is kind of like a flea market aspect that you can buy people. And there's a lot of groups on social media that you can do buy, trade, or give away. And some people are like, hey, I just need to get it out the closet. I got too much. Whoever wants to take it, you come and get it. But my other thing for those that are watching is please don't gatekeep. There's a lot of people out there that will gatekeep someone with a cosplay. They'll see someone that has a Dragon Ball cosplay, like I may be dressed up as Bulma, and you're like, are you really a Dragon Ball fan? What was Bulma wearing in episode 271 in such and such scene when this happened? I don't know.
What color were her panties when Goku snatched off the cover to see if she was
Why do you all remember that?
Exactly. So please don't do that. And then I don't care what color you're, as long as if you want to be, if a little kid says that a little white boy says, I want to be Black Panther, as long as you don't paint his face,
Please don't.
let him enjoy that.
Yeah.
that is a difference for that. Now I know there's people out there who's like, oh, will you paint your face to look like Starfire? She's an orange alien.
Gamora is
Very
green.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
Piccolo is green.
Yes.
You're black, but you're green.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Piccolo
Thank
is
you.
black.
Yes.
He's green.
He is very black.
I mean, he did get with black women, so
Yeah.
You know, it's just-
Yeah.
what do they call it?
And he took care of
Melanated
somebody else's
chlorophyll.
child.
that part.
Made it
Oh,
totally
man.
feel good.
Do we really dare go into that about how Piccolo was more of a father than Goku would ever be?
I see no lies. I hear no
I
lies.
am just saying. I am just saying.
Yes.
We are
very
getting
much.
off subject. We are getting off subject.
So definitely, even, if someone is getting excited, don't gatekeep them. Somebody's yum is maybe your yuck. Don't do that. As long as they're not tiptoeing in anything that is pedo, racism, or anything like that, any of the isms, let them be.
I mean, you actually said everything I was going to say. So just I mean, unless you want me to just keep talking ish about how terrible of a father Goku is, we can keep going with this.
He did just sky out, literally sky out on them kids. All the time.
Man, not even that. You saw how he just let Cell just beat the living dog crap out of him in front of people at that.
Yes.
That's your kid.
He had to learn.
Yeah.
Learn
One would have
I'm kidding.
something like that. The piece.
I'm kidding. I agree with the gatekeeping. I agree with all that. I think encouraging creativity
Yes.
is always going to give benefit. I speak to a lot of corporate types. I speak to a lot of academic types, et cetera. And one of the things that we've all come to understand in the pipeline from elementary school up to work, jobs and whatnot, is the loss of creative outlets that we've seen over the last couple of generations. Less music in schools, less art programs in school. So kids don't know that they like to sew because they don't get a chance to.
Yes.
They don't know that they like drawing or painting or singing or cooking because none of that is included in regular curricula anymore.
They also keep telling the creatives to get real jobs.
They tell the creatives to get real jobs, and I love the proliferation of creative outlets that I see. And I think that it has been born out of this community, so I love to see more and more of this and giving younger people ideas of what they can do, not as a living. Being a costume constructionist was not a job 20 years ago, but now it's people making bank.
Right.
Y'all talked about commissioning costumes,
Yep.
just on this panel, but also when we talk about expressing yourself and being welcomed. Most of the time, and I'm saying, 85 to 90% of the time, when you go to a convention, people are going to either like what you have on because you took the chance to put it on, or ask you questions like, "Oh, what is that?" Because they just want to know because they don't know the character. And people get excited to talk about their stuff. And so I love the permission to be creative and different and unique. That you get at a con. And so that's why I think I love more people to get into it. That's how you find your folks. Yes.
And as I mentioned, I found cons and cosplay and all that stuff in my 50s. So, if you have the opportunity and you find that those are some things that you enjoy, just enjoy it.
Yes.
Don't let anybody tell you you're too old for something,
Right.
or, just enjoy them. You're not hurting anybody.
Mhm.
You got adult money now. Do what
Now
you
what?
want.
We got adult
Adult
money.
money.
You want to spend it on commissioning cosplays or whatever, just do it and enjoy yourself. And don't let closed-minded people
Yes.
turn you into them.
Right?
Yes.
That you said a word right there. Do not let closed-minded people turn you into them. Don't let the fear of someone else's rejection stop you from reaching for what you want to get.
Yes.
Because what is their acceptance really getting?
Right.
Why do you need to be accepted by them?
And yet my bill is still not paid. Right.
Facts.
And so,
Right.
and we're not trying to do the whole come pay my bills thing. We're just saying you're
I
not paying.
am shameless. No, donate to my coffee. Blue Storm Entertainment. Give me some money. You want to see me cosplay something different?
I have no shame. I'm gonna say it. And now this is a beat, so I'm standing on it.
Discovering cosplay in your 50s. I became y'all make it, they were joking with me earlier because I'm a stay. And so I'm a big fan of Stray Kids. I'm into K-pop, I'm into K-dramas, etc. And there is this pose that you do if you see another stay. And I found another stay. Raven is not in here at the moment, but I found another one who did the Stray Kids pose, which is really goofy because the whole thing is goofy. But I'm 51 and I had no shame in not only doing it, but recording it and posting it on Instagram and Threads for everybody else to be like, what? It was great. And you know, some people might be like, Joy, you're too old for this. But again, bill money. And also the person that I was hanging out with was also in my age bracket. There's over 200 of us all in this one little group in my age bracket. And I would not have known that they exist and that we all enjoyed this together if I hadn't been brave enough to jump out on Threads and say, hey, where are my 50-year-old Stray Kids fans? You know, and matter of fact, they come in here in June and I got tickets to the concert.
Okay.
I don't even like concerts, but I like them. So I think with that, we want to wrap it up for our live stream on this. We've been at this for a little while. I know that there's a whole 11 rows of vendors down here. They're not 12. There's a lot of people down here that we must spend our adult money with. Yeah. So we're gonna go buy some stuff downstairs and get back into the con. We'll be back here tomorrow in different costumes and what have you. We encourage you all to continue to subscribe, like and subscribe to the Blerdography channel
And Moana Nui.
and the
Good
rest
stuff
of
entertainment.
Yes, please. We just go down. Tell everybody where they can find you. Spell it out, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it's Christina D. Weeb. Christina with a K.
Okay, Christina with the K.
On
Weeb.
everything. Yes.
W-E-B.
Yeah, like weeb is a weeb.
Oh,
Like,
weeb,
we
okay.
have a bunch of weebs in here. I
Yes.
guess.
And then, of course, Moana Nui, Moana, like the movie, NUI podcast on all social media platforms. And then you can also follow me at Danique, DANIQUE cosplay on all social media platforms.
You can find me on b.cunningham cosplay on all platforms. And then again, you can find my Toku covers on Blue Storm Entertainment on YouTube.
All right. You can, I am also part of the Moana Nui podcast, so please follow that channel. If you look for me personally, I'm Joyride08 across all social media that I want y'all to find me.
That I want you.
There you go.
I am How to Be TK, HOWTOBETK on TikTok. And I can be found on the Moana Nui podcast, What You Watching, and Opinionated Variants of the 616, as well as the Grown A Geeks panel. Grown A Geeks is on YouTube as well. And that's about it.
Thank you all for coming.